Pregame.com.
Sunday, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Green Bay Packers. I'm Marco D'Angelo. I'm joined by Steven Nover, the guy from Wisconsin, the guy you know that's going to like the Green Bay Packers. We could just close the video now. Who do you like, Steven?
Well, I didn't like Green Bay Monday night. I took the points with Minnesota.
You did.
I'm embarrassed to say. I just thought they were ranked 31st in total defense and given 14 points. They'd never given that many. Well, you'd have to go back, I think, to 62 or something when, Minnesota's like their second year in existence when the Packers were that big of favorites. And just thought it was too many points. I will not make that mistake this time. It's Green Bay or nothing in this game.
I can't bust on you for having Minnesota because I had the under, and when the total's 50 and the one team only has 7 points, you usually walk to the window and hand them that piece of paper and they give you money back, but that didn't happen.
I'm sure you weren't too happy when Matt Flynn ran in that last touchdown.
It was a situation. I was downtown. I was playing cards, watching the game, and I said, they're going to let him score. They're going to let him score, let him get the garbage time touchdown, and that's what happened, and there went the total. But seriously, we got to pick this game. You like Green Bay. For a guy, I can understand why you liked Minnesota last week and with the inflated line, but this is the week. This is the week to step in front of Green Bay. You know I'm a situational handicapper. I like to point out bad situations for teams. And, let's face it, it's a 16-week season. You cannot play at your highest level for 16 weeks. There's going to be flat spots in the season. That doesn't mean this is going to work in this game, but if there's any game all year the Green Bay has a license to be flat, it's right here, right now, this game, and this is why. They're coming off a Monday night game in which it was a total blowout, a laugher. They're yucking it up on the sidelines. Did you watch them on the side? They were having a pretty good time Monday night. That was a division game. Now they're playing Tampa Bay that's not a division game, and Tampa Bay's coming off an embarrassing loss, 37-9. How are you going to get excited about Tampa Bay? You're going to really take them serious? They just got drilled by Houston. And, this is the big and, Green Bay plays on Thanksgiving Day in 4 days against the Detroit Lions, which everybody has said all year long, if Green Bay does not go undefeated, it's almost like a consensus. People say the game they're going to lose is in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. This is a look-ahead spot, sandwiched in between two division games off a Monday night game and a Thursday game. They're going to be playing 3 games in 11 days when they get to Thursday. You saw them put the backups in. We talked about they brought Matt Flynn in on Monday. If Green Bay gets a lead and the fact that they got to come back in 4 days, I think they pull the starters even quicker this week, which gives you backdoor possibilities.
Well, they're not doing that, Mark, unless they're way ahead like they were against Minnesota, way ahead. And this spread is 2 touchdowns. It would have to be 4 touchdowns when they pull starters. But I certainly cannot disagree with your situational handicapping to this. It's dead on. I have a lean towards Green Bay just because you cannot step in front of this train right now, and this dog with Tampa Bay will not hunt. That's your other part of this handicap. You got to have the dog that has some bite. It's Tampa Bay, since going to that trip from London, they've been dead. A dead team, a very young team, a very immature team, no leadership. Josh Freeman has regressed. It may be an injury with him, his thumb or something. The coach is very young. I think they're a dead team. I think, you ask, well, they got killed last week. I don't think they have the resiliency. I don't think they have the leadership, whatever it takes to come back. I think their secondary is very vulnerable. They lost a very good defensive lineman in McCray. Now they've brought in Albert Hainsworth. Oh, come on. You got to wear a gas mask, around that guy. And they have no passing attack, and it's very hard to run on Green Bay. They're a warm weather team going into Lambeau, and it's a dead spot for the Packers, but you're going to have all those cheering fans. They know they're at home, and they can't stop Rodgers, Tampa. So that's the other side, Marco, you got to deal with.
There's no question Rodgers right now is playing on a level, he's head and shoulders above anybody in the NFL right now. I can't argue that.
Marco, this Rodgers, he's the he's had a period now, the best quarterbacking I've ever seen. I mean, look at Green Bay. Everybody says they're the best team in the NFL. Okay, granted, but are they some super team? Marco, let's break them down. Defensively, they're among the 5 worst in pass defense. They lost Nick Collins, their star safety. That was a huge loss for them. Their secondary is vulnerable. They do not get a pass rush from their front 4. Their linebacking is good, but it's not great. Bishop and Clay Matthews is outstanding. Bishop's very good, but A.J. Hawk is just mediocre at best. You turn it around now, the offense. The running game is below average. Ryan Grant is terrible. The offensive line is just mediocre. Their best offensive lineman last year was Josh Sitton. He's not having a good year. So they haven't really been outstanding there. They have very good wide receivers, but the rest of it is all Aaron Rodgers. He is carrying this team with the best quarterback in play I've ever seen. He's making all the throws. He's not making mistakes. He's got such a quick release and quick feet and the ability to scramble that he masks the weaknesses of the offensive line. I never in my wildest dreams did I think Rodgers would exceed Favre, but he's Favre without all the stupidity and all the weaknesses.
Well, I can't disagree with any of that. It's just a situation, and this is something that I've done for years. When one team looks super good on Monday night or looks super bad, there's just such value going with or against that combination the next week because everybody saw Green Bay. Everybody's going to want the Packers this week. And I'm sorry, it's just a bad spot. And I know Josh Freeman has regressed from last year. He's not the quarterback that he was last year. He's still head and shoulders way ahead of Christian Ponder. And if you were going to take Minnesota last week, if you thought they had a chance, I know the difference you're going to say is, well, Minnesota has Adrian Peterson, the great
who
equalizer.
ran for 175 yards against the Packers.
It's still, it's still this is a situation. I got to go with Tampa Bay. I think they're going to keep this game close. I just think Green Bay's going to, the short week, coming back on Thursday, it's just a bad spot for them. I think the line's inflated. We're getting value with them. Tampa Bay is not as bad as Minnesota, and they're getting the same number, a tick more. Or actually, they're getting a little bit more
in a better situation.
In a better situation.
Well, do you know these teams last met 2 years ago in 2009 at Tampa, and the Packers played just listlessly, and Tampa Bay won by 10 points.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I don't have them winning the game. You're on Green Bay. I'm on Tampa. Green Bay's going to win the game, but I think this is going to be one of those situations where it's going to be a little bit closer than people think, or we're going to get that backdoor cover. You're the backdoor guy.
No, it's Cam Newton's the backdoor guy. I've just been smart enough to ride him, so you need to get Cam
backdoor
Newton for this
riding.
one.
We're moving along now. I'm going to take Tampa Bay plus the points. I've got Green Bay winning the game 31-20. So that gets us the cover plus the 14 and a half you might see by weekend. Again, we're taping on Thursday. Steven has a slight lean to Green Bay. That's it for this video. We got one more video left, and we're going to talk about a good game. Baltimore and Cincinnati, an AFC key game in the AFC North. We'll be right back with that one.